Welcome to the Central Florida Computer Society and the Sarasota Technology User Group, WinSIG or Windows Special Interest Group for Sunday, August 11th, 2024. I'm Huey Poplock, and we do this once a month, and we're glad you're here. We've been doing it for 20 some odd years, and we continue to do it. We go over uh, information about computers and Microsoft and Windows and so on, and get some good discussions going by reading various news articles that I find over the course of the month. So let's go ahead and stop the share and say hello to everybody. I am Huey Poplock. I'm in Bradenton, Florida. Most of you are scattered all over the country. But members of Central Florida Computer Society uh, they're in the Orlando, Central Florida area, and the STUG people are the Sarasota group are in Sarasota and Manatee counties, and here in Florida as well. And then many of you are with other user groups. I have started a uh, WinSIG Spotlight series. I don't think I've uploaded them yet to my YouTube channel, but I will be doing it shortly. I think I've got 3 recorded. We've used one on Tech for Senior. We'll probably be using more. And what I'm doing is taking one of the articles that we cover over during a meeting, and I'm creating a video just of that item. And we're calling it a spotlight. Long as we've got them recorded, there's a lot of good news and information that some of you may not have seen, some of you won't remember, and in many cases, you may not even be familiar with it. And so we're going to utilize some of the older items, and I'm going to try to keep them where they're still relevant, but there might be some information that could be updated within them, and we can do that within discussions. And you're welcome to use them with any of your user groups. Excuse me, as you are with any of the Tech for Senior items and our premier or educational shorts. They're not shorts, but items that we do on Tech for Senior in our premier. There's usually 3 items every week, and those can be divided up, and you can use 1, 2, or all 3 of them for your meeting. So by all means, feel free to do so. Just mention Tech for Senior or the WinSIG or me or Ron Brown or whoever is involved with it. And we hope you utilize these things. We put a lot of time and trouble into these. And by all means, we want them to get out there. There's no cost. It's all free. We just are glad to do it. And for today, I'm glad you're here. We've got a good crew so far, and it's early. So what I usually do, and let me share my screen. Oh, well, before I do that, any comments or hellos that anyone wants to make as part of the meeting? I see we've got some people I have not seen on here before, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you. And okay, so we'll go ahead and I'm going to share my screen and do this. We can minimize this, save it till the end, and we accept our cookies. Come on. Now, this is the WinSIG. Let's make it full screen. These are the WinSIG topics for today. And I post these every month. And then what you'll see underneath that will be the recording of this. So right now for last month, here's last month's topics. And here is where you can find the video for it. So you can go back and if you miss a meeting, you can, or there's something in the meeting that you would like to go over, you can do that. So today, we'll start with the first article. And what I usually do is, I'm going to, and I did it earlier and then I shut it off, but I have a Chrome add-on or an extension that lists all of the items. So all I have to do is click open URLs, and you can see at the top of the screen, it's now opening all of those. Like, and as it opens them, we can just go to the first one, which is Microsoft quietly installing a knowledge-based Windows 10 and 11 update for the good of your PC. And it should be ready for us now. So there it is. And what we're going to do now is we're in Chrome, and I am going to use the reading mode and then slide it across. So we see the original article here. And then this is the reading mode of that article. So it cuts out a lot of the junk that's here. Right now, we're not seeing some, but ads and stuff like that, we won't see. So towards the end of last month, and that would be in July, Microsoft released its non-security Windows preview update for Windows 11 and 10, and it gives the knowledge base numbers. If you want to click on any of those, let's see if this will work. Yeah, I think I'm not sure whether I did it or not. Let's go back. Make sure we're in the right one here. All right, guess I can't do what I was hoping to do. Anyway, the articles are there. You can click on them. But towards the end of the month, as I said, they were updated. However, a few days later, the company also quietly released one for Windows 11 version 24H2, which is not, which is still a in the beta versions. That's not been released for everybody, but they also have one for Copilot Plus PCs. Now today, which was on the 2nd, NeoWin noticed that Microsoft also is pushing another update to both Windows 10 and 11 systems, and it gives the knowledge base number for it. This update is different from the ones we mentioned above, as it upgrades the Windows Update service components. It's meant to essentially trigger Windows to automatically download and install a newer Windows 11 or 10 feature update in case your current OS or operating system version is approaching the end of servicing status. And it gives a summary of what this article is. So news about the update. When this update is installed, Windows may attempt to download and install feature updates to your device if it's approaching or has reached the end of support for your currently installed Windows version. Feature updates offer new functionality and keep your device secure. And then after this update is installed, Windows may periodically display a notification informing you of problems that may prevent Windows Update from keeping your device up to date and protected against current threats. For example, you may see a notification informing you that the device is currently running a version of Windows that has reached the end of its support lifecycle, or that your device does not meet the minimum hardware requirements. So there's still a lot of reasons that you're not going to be able to update. And even though the end of support for Windows 10, for instance, will not be available after October of next year, it's still, there are things now that prevent you from updating now to Windows 11 because of your hardware, or and you may get some of 11, but it will only go so far, and then it won't update after that. So my opinion, I think that Microsoft's going to come out with a new version of Windows for those who have Windows 10 and do not have hardware to update to 11, but we'll see. That's a prediction of mine and mine only, and I've not seen any reference to it anywhere, so I may be completely wrong on that. Let's look at the next article. We'll close this one. Go to the next. Put a banana in your garden. Put bananas in your garden and see what happens. That's an advertisement, so you don't have to click on that. Okay, Microsoft's latest SNAFU, or situation normal, all screwed up. See July security update throwing Windows users into BitLocker recovery mode. So let's see. Let's go to the reader mode. And it's stuck. Can I shut that off? Yeah, and try it again. No, it's not working. I'll do it one more time by updating the screen and try it. Oh, reading mode isn't available on this page. Wonderful. Okay, so let's turn that off and let's try it using the I'm trying to think what it's called, print friendly, and we will move that to about 130% and say Microsoft has managed to do it yet again with the security update released earlier this month, and that actually was last month. The company has delivered a buggy patch, which is causing problems for a lot of users. The problem has hit users of not only Windows 10 and 11, but also various editions of Windows Server. As the update in question has a security update, it was automatically installed on a large number of systems. The unwanted payload was being dumped into BitLocker recovery screen. Microsoft says it is aware of the issue, but doesn't have a fix yet. So if you're sticking with Windows 10, it says use this trick to make it a bit more like Windows 11 for free. These are other articles, so it's nothing to do with this. Microsoft admits it's releasing another dodgy update by saying after installing it from July 9th, you might also see a BitLocker recovery screen on your booting device. This screen does not commonly appear after a Windows update. And so if you have the device encryption option enabled in settings under privacy and security, device encryption resulting from this issue, you might be prompted to enter the recovery key from your Microsoft account to unlock your drive. The good news is that home users are not likely to be affected by the issue. While this reduces the number of impacted systems somewhat, those may have been hit are almost certainly of high importance. While Microsoft has acknowledged the issue, the lack of proper solution is frustrating. And that's it for that article. So we'll close this, close that article. And then there's more on some updates. So let's take a look at this and see if this has got a preview. Yeah, it does. Good. Okay, so this was July 25th was the release date for another build or update. And home and pro editions of Windows 11 versions 22H2 will have reached the end of service on October 8th, or will be at the end of service October 8th, 2024. Until then, these editions will only receive security updates. They will not receive non-security preview updates. To continue receiving security and non-security updates after October 8th, they recommend that you update the latest version of Windows. Microsoft says they'll continue to support enterprise and education editions after October 8th. And let's see, below is a summary of all the key issues that the update from this July 25th update is. And let's see, a gradual rollout. So you might not get it all at once, but by now you may have already gotten it. Notification for Windows Share in China. I don't think that affects us. Start menu, new. You can drag apps from the pin section of the menu to pin them to the taskbar. which you couldn't do before. Sometimes it was a little more difficult to do it, or you'd have to just right mouse click and tell it to add it to the taskbar. When the taskbar has keyboard focus, and that would be Windows plus the letter T, you can press a letter and you will go to the app whose name starts with that letter. When you press a letter more than once, you will go to the next app whose name starts with that letter. So let's see, taskbar. So if I go to uh, Windows T and then a letter, let's do, let's see, what's that? Let's go to letter S, nothing. And let's see, let's minimize this and see what happens. Minimize this. And now Windows T. And then we've got everything. So I'll do an E. It goes to Evernote first. If I go to E again, it goes to everything and it goes back. So it will go to whatever the first letter is of that item. So if you got a whole bunch of icons at the bottom, when you do Windows T and then press a letter, it will go to the first instance of a program that's pinned using that letter. And I had not known that before. And so let's go back to our shared screen. I'll do an Alt tab. Let's see. There we go. And let's see, the end task no longer shows a not responding dialog before it stops the task. Okay, and File Explorer, new when you right click on a tab, you have the choice to duplicate it. So if you're in File Explorer, let's go to File Explorer here. And I only have one, so let's open up another File Explorer here. And let's see, what's it say? If you right click a tab, you can duplicate it. So if I have let's see, a tab here and I right mouse click. No. Yeah, there we go. Right mouse click. You can close the tab and you can duplicate that tab. So sometimes very quickly, I got something open in documents and I want to go to something. Let's go to CFCS virtual, and I'm here, and let's see, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to my tab and duplicate the tab. And so I now have two of the same tab. Now I can go to 24 last month and then go to the other tab and go to this month. What'd it do? It went away. Well, it's supposed to work. So we'll see on that. File Explorer stops responding when you browse within it. When you search from home for the first time, you might not get any results. The address bar drop-down menu might appear when you do not expect it. So there's some things in File Explorer that they're aware of. And then there's some improvements. So whenever you install a knowledge base, an update, you want to go and let's take a look at what I'm going to be talking about here. Let's go to Settings and Windows Update and look at your update history. Whenever you see something here, let's do the quality updates. Now that's what that is. Okay, good. So if I look here and it says learn more, when I click it, it takes me to the knowledge base for that particular one and will tell you about it. So whenever you get an update, you can find out what that update actually is doing by going to your going to the update. Let's see where settings go here. When you click on learn more, you will get all the information about that particular update, and you can do it with any of those. Okay, let's go back to, let's see, we're back here. And so it talks about that. And then there were some other improvements. And then there's some known issues in the update. So all of these updates, informations have a lot of information. And then if you want more options and you want to know more information about it, you can go there. So I'm going to close that, and let's go ahead and take a discussion break and see if there's any comments or questions. Something you learned that you didn't know. Anyone?
Yep.
Mike's hands up. Mike.
When the update came out with the BitLocker feature, enhancement, problem, whatever you want to call it, a couple of us at Central Florida Computer Society started talking about it among ourselves. And the question was, okay, first of all, how do I know if I have BitLocker enabled on my computer? And research kind of indicated that by default, if I remember correctly, Windows 11 enables BitLocker on new installations. I don't know if you buy a new computer that it comes with it that way during setup. I see Drew's got his hand up, so perhaps he knows. But the second portion was for most Windows 10 installations, BitLocker is not enabled. And then the question was, okay, either way, how do I know what my BitLocker key is? And Drew posted a very good article in the CFCS TechSig email stream telling us how you could go and find out, what your BitLocker key was. And he put a direct link that took us to your Microsoft account, your own account. And if you go to your own Microsoft account and log into it, it will tell you if you've got BitLocker enabled, and it will also tell you what your key is. So whether you've got it installed or not installed, if it is installed, definitely write that key down or put it in a note somewhere just in case you ever need to re-enable it again.
And if you have a password manager, I highly suggest that you put that BitLocker key in there. It did save me one time. I had a problem with BitLocker, and it came up and wanted me to sign in again to BitLocker, and I had to go scrambling to find the key for it. So by all means, you want to have that in advance, and then have it saved somewhere. Drew, your hand is up.
Yes, my comment wasn't about that. I have a Windows 10 and 11 computer that I bought both of them during the pandemic, so it's either 3 or 4 years ago. Both 10 and 11, both of them came with 10, and both of them came with the BitLocker encryption enabled. So that's been on Windows 10 for a number of years now. But the comment that I was going to make about the taskbar applications that you've got pinned, if you hold down the menu key and you press the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it will launch the apps in the numerical order that you have them pinned to your taskbar. So
up to 0, which is 10. I believe it will do either 9 or 10. I can't remember, but that's all. But I know some of you out there have a lot more than 10 items on your taskbar. And if you do, then by using the letter, it's easier to find it and start it. Bob, you have your hand up. You're muted.
BitLocker is installed on Windows 11 by default. It's activated, and recommendation is unless you have some super duper need for BitLocker, turn it off.
Yeah, I thought BitLocker might have been my problem with my other computer that I was having so many issues with, and it was turned on, and I went and I turned it off, and it it said it was going to take quite a while to do a redo, and if you want to turn on BitLocker, it's, I guess, quite involved and does if you got a big hard drive, it's going to take a long time. But it didn't help me any, so that wasn't my issue. But I was aware of, and then did look up my BitLocker number and did turn it off. And you have to have your key in order to turn it off, I believe. Marilyn, you have your hand up.
Yeah, obviously all you guys are more educated than me. What is BitLocker?
BitLocker
Okay.
encrypts everything on your hard drive. And on Windows 11, it's on by default. So if you don't know and you're running Windows 11, all your stuff is encrypted. And you have a key through your Microsoft account that encodes all the information. As long
And
as you never have
unencodes it.
any problems, it doesn't really make any difference. But if you ever have a problem, you need your key in order to unlock that information. And unless you have government secrets that you need to keep from everybody, there's really no reason for BitLocker to be active. Remember, to encrypt means to apply a key, okay, a code to encrypt that information. There is some overhead involved in encrypting things. So unless you need it, don't do it.
Yeah, it's a
And how
protection.
do you get the key again?
Go to your Microsoft account.
Yeah,
Go
if you
there.
go to account.microsoft.com and log in with your Microsoft ID.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
But you can also just go to your settings, go to BitLocker and turn it off. It'll take a little while depending on how much information you have. It'll decrypt everything. And from then on, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Tom, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I guess it's not necessary, but I got my BitLocker, but I have about 15 of them. Which one specifically for this? Which one is specific for this computer? What I've done is I've had to rebuild the computer several times. Put in other words, start all over again with installing Microsoft, etc.
You'll find a series of letters and numbers next to the code. And every time your BitLocker code changes, that number will change. And if you have 3 BitLocker codes that all correspond to your same computer, when your computer does get to that blue screen, it will show you, it'll ask you for your BitLocker code, and it will show you the first 5 or 6 digits of that other number. And that's how you know which BitLocker code is the active one.
So I guess I have to save all my numbers. I have like 10 of them for the one computer here. Well, I don't know which one's which because it has a whole
They all
list
have a
of
date
all
if
my
you get them
computers
deleted.
that I had in the past.
Well,
Isn't
what
there
you
a
can
date
do,
column? Look for the one with the newest date.
and what you can do also, Tom, is check your account and see what the current one is, and that's
How
the
do I
one you
how do
definitely-
I get the current one again? I guess I'm wasting too much time here.
Go to your Microsoft account.
Yeah, go to
Okay, I'll try it.
account.microsoft.com and sign in.
Okay.
And then you can get it that way.
I'll try that. Thank you.
Yep.
It's not a big deal. I'll turn it off like anyway, thank you.
And by the way, Tom, I'm glad you got your printer working.
Oh, Drew, I got it working. I had to when I rebuilt my computer, put all the software in, I loaded my printer in before I updated Windows or put any of my programs in, and it worked.
Oh, yes.
And
There was something-
and thanks
there
for
was
all the
something
help, you guys. I
interfering with
really
it. Yep.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
You're
there was
welcome.
something interfering with it. Okay, let's go back to our WinSIG and items. And so I need to share my screen again. And close. PC World every one of these, I've got, I think 3 in a row here, PC World articles. And as soon as it goes to the website, it puts up an ad. It's a pain in the neck. Okay, huge Windows 11 2024 update preview is overflowing with new features. So this is what's coming, not what we've got now. So let's go ahead and go to the reader mode and see what we've got coming. Lock screen personalization. One important change is a redesign of the lock screen. That's when you're signed out and it asks for your PIN or your password to sign in. That's your lock screen. And previously, a new weather widget on the lock screen that couldn't be personalized was annoying many users. But now, with the updates that are coming, widgets can finally be customized in the settings under personalization. The start menu and taskbar changes. The start menu in Windows 11 also has been revised. So when we get that next big update, your your start menu is going to look different. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I love it when they do that. It's like going in the grocery store and they've repositioned everything in the grocery store. The new account manager section gives you an overview of the benefits of your Microsoft account and quick access to your account settings. Hang on one second. Let's see. You can also pin apps to the taskbar again. This was already possible in previous versions of Windows, but Windows 11 did not have this option until now. And then Task Manager is getting a major upgrade. It's also, when you open it, after the update, it will display the performance of the working memory in megahertz to MT/S. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe someone knows. This is a much better, more accurate indication of which applications are using the most memory. In addition, it's now much easier to adjust the size of the window accessibility. It's the size of the window. Accessibility has also been improved, for example, through better scaling of the text. A known problem where USB devices could not be safely removed while the task manager was open also has been fixed. And there's some more security coming, and there's going to be some other notable features. In File Explorer, users can drag files within with the mouse between the breadcrumbs in the address bar, making its navigation much easier. In addition, Windows sharing, the Windows sharing window has been revised and enhanced, and you're going to actually be able to create QR codes. I've gotten to the point where I'm afraid to click on QR codes because you don't know what they're pointing to. And so you don't know whether you're going to somewheres you want to go or somewheres that you shouldn't go. Last but not least, Windows 11 now supports the new 15.1 emoji standard, which not only includes new symbols, but a better display. And these will all be part of 24H2, but are subject to change before the official release. Still have not heard a date on it. I'm hearing rumbles of September, October, which seems like a long ways away. But if you realize that we're into the second week of August already, September and October are not that far away. And note, despite lots of additions, Windows 11 version 24H2 will also be removing several apps and features. So be sure you don't need any of them before you dive into the update. Okay, so that's that article. How to change what Windows does when you plug in a flash drive. Okay, let's do when you connect a USB stick to your computer, a notification with the title Autoplay and the prompt Select an Action for Removable Storage Devices appears by default. After clicking on it, Windows offers you the following 3 options. make a big state. Let's see, this is part of the ad here. Windows 11 Pro, the same happens if you have a memory card reader and insert a card. If this notification bothers you, simply deactivate it. Open the Windows settings in the Start menu and go to Bluetooth and devices and then autoplay. There's there, please set the switch. Use autoplay for all media devices to off. So you go to settings. Let's see, settings and Bluetooth and devices and autoplay. I have it on. And then choose the autoplay defaults, remove a drive, removable drive and memory card. And there are some defaults there. Take no action, open folder to view the files and ask me every time. And under memory cards should be the same things, but a few more as well. And so that's where you go and you can turn that off. Now, I do want to mention to you a warning, and I'm sure Bob has probably talked about this, but when you find a USB drive, let's say in the driveway or in a parking lot, do not take it home and plug it into your computer. And the reason being is that you don't know what's on it. It could have been left there as a the same as you get junk mail that have malware and viruses on them. Somebody could have left it so that as soon as you plug it in, you've got malware or it locks up your system or it sends them some information. So by
Be a
all
good
means,
citizen and put it in the garbage.
I'm sorry?
Be a good citizen, pick it up and put it in the trash.
Absolutely. They're cheap enough now. You don't have to get one that you don't know where it came from and stick it in your computer. By all means. So be careful of that. Okay. Any other comments about what's coming in Windows 24H2? Bob, you playing with any of that?
For quite some time already.
And what do you think of it?
It's just another update. You get used to the new stuff and you learn to forget the stuff that no longer works. That's about all you can do.
If they said anything about when it may be released?
No, except what you said. September, October is the estimated guesses. There's no official.
Okay, Tom Hirsch, your hand is up.
Hi, I have a question about the BitLocker issue that we discussed earlier. If for some reason BitLocker was activated on your computer and you disable BitLocker, what happens to the files that are already on your computer that have been encrypted by BitLocker?
They're unencrypted.
They get unencrypted. And so
Right.
there's a process that it has to go through to do that.
So that would imagine if you have, let's say, a few hundred gigabytes of data on your computer, it would probably take the computer some time to unencrypt all of that.
Yeah, but I believe it does it in the background.
Yep.
So you can still use your computer while it's doing it.
And I have one other issue that I've encountered on one of my computers. It's a computer, I believe it's running Windows 10, that some of the files on that computer have a cloud on it, which indicates to me that Microsoft has backed those up to a Microsoft OneDrive in the cloud
On
storage.
OneDrive, it's not on your physical drive.
Let's see, I haven't
cloud.
I haven't used OneDrive and I haven't deliberately stored any files there and it won't let me access them. So I guess I have to sign into my Microsoft account and disable all that stuff. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Okay. John Samuels, your hand is up.
Sorry about that. I have a question. A lot of my computers are still at 23 something or other, H2 perhaps.
That's correct.
That is correct.
That's-
There never was a first half 2024 release.
That's correct.
All right.
Microsoft went to a once a year release cycle.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, saying no more questions. How are we doing for time? We're good. Although we haven't gotten too far in our list, but let's go back to sharing. And this one we're done with. And let me go ahead and do the read mode. And 14 must know Windows 11 security and privacy settings. Good article to have. I won't go through all of them. Login and accounts, Windows 11 Pro. Let's see, that's an ad, I believe. Make it even more secure. And let's see, automatically lock your computer. When you walk away from your computer, you can lock it using the keyboard shortcut Windows plus L, and you can also let it lock automatically. To open the login options, go to when should Windows require you to log in again if you've been away from your computer, and select time from the menu on the right. You can also enable dynamic lock. This means that you have paired your computer with a pair of headphones or another Bluetooth device, and you can lock your computer when the pairing is broken when you walk away from your computer. You can skip the login. Windows 11 works best if you're logged in with your Microsoft account, but to reduce monitoring, you can skip the login and use a so-called local account. This has been changing, so I'm not sure if this is up to date or not. I think Microsoft has taken away the ability to create a login using a local account easily, but it may still work if you've already done it. Open the settings menu and your information under account settings. Select login with a local account instead of launching a settings a wizard. And I don't believe you can do that now. Switch off a Windows ad ID. Microsoft monitors your usage to customize advertising to your interests, but this can be turned off. Go to settings, menu, privacy and security, Windows permission, general information. Here you can disable the feature, allow apps to show customized ads for using my advertising ID. I'm mixed on this. I kind of feel that, you know what? I'd like them to know what ads I want to watch. And so I at least get ads I might be interested in. I don't need ads about something I have no interest in at all. And so if it knows kind of what my interests are, and I did a search for a particular item, all of a sudden I'm seeing ads for similar items. You know, you're going to get ads. Why not at least get them something that you're interested in? That's my feeling on it. Control the apps, Foundry, even individual apps have access to things like the camera, microphone, and your exact location. You can control these things through app authorization. Open the settings, privacy and security, and an app permissions. Click on the function you want to control, for example, positioning or camera, and you can now switch sharing on or off. So let's see, let's go to settings, and then privacy and security, and then app permissions. And let's see if down here, app permissions, you got location, camera, microphone. So you can look at microphone, and I can see here's all of the items that I can or cannot use my microphone for, and then all of the let desktop apps access your microphone, and all of these have permission. So you might want to check that, and then you can have things turned on or off that you want to allow it to. So if you never use your microphone for anything, you might want to make sure that's turned off so it doesn't, so something doesn't grab your microphone when you don't want it to. However, if you use your microphone a lot for dictation, you want to make sure that it's going to work in that particular app. So if it's in Word, you want to make sure a Word has the authorization to use your microphone. And if you don't, when you open up Word and you tell it you want to use the microphone, it may give you the pop-up saying you don't have, do you want to give it permission to use the microphone? And I think once you do, it keeps that turned on. Stop telling us about yourself. Stop telling, through device usage feature, Microsoft customizes the system and advertising to your habits, but you can opt out. Go to settings, customization, and device usage, and then open it and trigger the off position on everything there. And then skip the tips, scan for viruses. And I do manually do a scan occasionally using Microsoft and using any antivirus that I use on a particular computer as well. And then every once in a while, I'll run Malwarebytes and have it do a scan as well. Avoid false positives. Theft. Find a missing computer. There's some ways to do that. Some people have their phones and their iPads and other notepads and tablets, and they don't have a code on there to get in. Granted, it's only usually 4 or 6 numbers, but at least it's something to keep. If you leave it somewheres, and they're so easy to leave somewheres, that somebody can't just get in and get to your whole world. It is not a good idea, although it's easy and it makes things easier. Just think of it in terms of, uh-oh, I left my phone at the grocery store or in the doctor's office. If somebody picks it up, how easy is it for them to get into your phone and get to your phone numbers and your all the information you have stored in your phone? So it's something you really need to be aware of and make sure that you have protected the device. You know, you protect yourself from a lot of websites, but you need to have the device protected as well. This is something I'm looking forward to. Let me go ahead. Windows 11 is adding your Android phone to the File Explorer. Microsoft is testing wireless Android smartphone integration in the Windows 11 File Explorer. This feature, which is currently limited to insider channels, should feel incredibly intuitive to anyone who's ever used a USB drive or an SMB networking. There are already several ways to wirelessly transfer between your Windows PC and your Android smartphone, but you can use the Windows Phone link when I use that quite often. And I also use the program that I've demonstrated in the past, which is Local Send. Local Send is much quicker than most of the other ones that I use. But in here, what they're saying is, let's see if they show it here. They do, you're going to have your, in File Explorer, you're going to have your Android phone as part of your Windows Explorer or File Explorer. And so with that, let me go ahead and stop the share. And I think I'm looking forward to that. Bob, is that something that you have available now?
Yes, I do, and I don't use it because I don't have any files on my phone that I can use on my computer. I have my pictures, and that's automatically something I can already get because my phone is paired to my device.
Okay. but still, I think that's good, especially if you're downloading, let's say, a doc file to your phone, and you don't need to find it again and download it. You can grab it right from your phone and copy it over or move it over to your desktop very easily, or your laptop. Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, I discovered one of the uses for that is when your power goes out and you don't have your TV to watch, you can copy some videos that you might have onto your phone and watch them while the power's out. That's what I do with it.
Unless the power,
Don't you have to have internet?
unless the power is
Wi-Fi?
taken down the
No,
internet.
I take movies that I own and put them physically on my phone drive.
Oh, okay.
The problem I have with my phone is in my Samsung phone, I can tell it when I get a text that it's spam and I'll never see it again. My phone just sends them right on to Windows. Drives me nuts.
Jim and Chris, you have your hand up?
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is the same feature as what you're talking about, but a few days ago, I copied something on my phone and it said, you know, you can paste this on your computer. Wow.
Yes. That's a feature that's enabled in the phone link program.
Okay. And that's just on by default, or did I do something to turn it on?
It's normally off by default. Somehow
Okay, I might have done something to turn it on. I did play around with it once,
and
but that
yeah,
was just so cool. I could copy on
Yeah.
my phone, and without doing anything else, whatever I was in, email or whatever on my computer, I could paste and it was there.
yeah, I copy and paste between my phone and my computer all day.
Love it.
Yeah, I also using the phone link program. It's so much faster than using the Bluetooth transfer of files. I was going to do a transfer file of a video from my phone to my computer, and it was going to take a long time. I did send file, and bingo, it was there in a matter of seconds. So you got to be careful with some of these things. They can take a lot longer than that's necessary. So the copy paste is one of the quick things that you can do. Any other comments, questions? Well, let's get back to it then. Okay, next article, close. Okay, this is Windows 11 users are finally getting back more control over mouse settings. And this is one of the items I recently did a recording on, but whoops, I want to get the read aloud here. And this is another one that it won't do that. So we'll shut that off and we'll use the print friendly version. And make sure that's 130. And for some strange reason, Microsoft made Windows 11 less useful in various ways. And one backward step was removing some of the settings relating to mouse controls, specifically the option to reverse scroll wheel direction and enhance pointer precision. Quite why it was deemed sensible to remove the options from settings is anyone's guess, particularly as it remained possible to tweak the registry to implement them. Although I don't like going into the registry myself, and I definitely don't advise people to do it unless you really know what you're doing. Now, Microsoft has seen the error of its ways and is placing control back in the hands of Windows 11 users. So it is unsurprisingly in the preview builds of Windows 11 where these newly returned mouse settings are to be found. So they may not be there yet, but the enhanced pointer precision and scrolling direction options will soon be on your computer if you want to use them. So you won't need to do anything other than update to the latest build when it comes through. and it will be done for you. Okay, so that's that article. And 20 smart tweaks that make Windows 11 more productive. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, good. All right. Smart start menu, reset the start button. Do you dislike the start button is moved from the left to the right or to the center? Fortunately, this is easy to fix. And you know what? To me, it doesn't make a bit of difference. And if you have a lot of items in your taskbar, it's on the left by anyway, because you forced it there. Check the pin list. The start menu also has been redesigned, and the biggest innovation is the pin feature. It automatically places programs and apps that you use frequently, but you can also take control. So the pin feature is here. It says pinned, and it shows me all the items I have pinned, and I can unpin them. I can add to the pins, and they're right there. So all I have to do is open up the start menu. The start menu also has been redesigned. The biggest innovation is the pin feature. It automatically places programs and apps that you use frequently, but you can also take control. So there's some settings that you can do in this that you can have. This has got recommended. You can also, these are recommended ones, and I believe there's some, obviously they recommend a lot. So you don't have to do that, but there's some other settings here that you can have the most used, and those will always be there and so on. I don't use that a lot. I only use the pinned portion. Let's see, is there anything else here? Add more shortcuts. You decide what appears under start. For example, you can add shortcuts to settings, Explorer, or your picture folder so you can find them quickly. Widgets, I don't use any widgets, but these are small programs that show, for example, weather forecasts, stock prices, and news. And you can open widgets window by clicking on the icon next to start. It usually has a weather symbol on it. I think I've done away with it. I don't have it on my screen. You can also rest your mouse cursor over the icon or use the keyboard shortcut Windows W. So let's do that. It's W. And these are widgets, and you can turn them on and they will be on your screen. You can have them for weather. You can have some news and just all kinds of things to clutter up your screen and take away good time to get things done. But obviously, there are a lot of widgets available. There's even games and maps, as I said, weather and so on. So let's see. There we go. So you can decide which widgets to display. Each widget has a 3-dot icon in the top right corner, and this is where you make your settings. With the hide this widget to remove it and pin this widget will always show it. It's customized, customize the widget so you can customize it. And then to add new ones and so on. So that was, again, Windows W for widgets. And let's take this. You go to the 3 dots. You can hide the widget, customize it, and you can pin it. So we'll pin it. So it's now there. Now, where does it pin it to? I guess if we open this, it's not there. I am not sure. It's on your
You pinned
logout
it to the
screen.
widget.
I did? Is that what you're saying?
You pinned it to the widget. So when you
Oh.
open your widget, it will always be there.
Oh, okay. And it's here. And now I can say unpin it. Okay. But where else can you pin it to, Bob?
It's a widget. That's the only place you can pin it. Pin it means
Okay.
putting it toward the top. If you don't
Okay.
have it pinned, it's still there if it's a selected item, but you have to scroll down to get to it. Pinning it makes it easily available, just like pinning
Okay.
something in your start menu.
Okay. So you can have a whole bunch of them and open up your widgets every once in a while and very quickly see what's news, what your latest, what your stocks are doing, what other interests that you have, including the weather.
If you
Okay,
remember
so
the shortcut key, you have access to them anytime you want them, and they don't have to take up room on the taskbar.
Windows Store, just like our phones and tablets, Windows 11 has a tool for downloading and managing programs. You're used to it with your iPhones and your Android phones, but there's also a store for Microsoft for Windows. The tool is called Microsoft Store. And from here, you can download all your Microsoft programs that they talk about in this particular PC world. When the Microsoft Store was first launched, only so-called modern Windows apps were available here, but now you can also download traditional Windows programs as well. How? You open the Microsoft Store via Start or with the shopping bag icon in the taskbar. I may have shut it off in my taskbar because I don't use it. No, it's here. It's right here. And when I click it, it takes me into the store and I can find apps and free apps and you can search. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. You can do a search, you can find programs, you can use filters to narrow your search and so on. Microsoft Store can also update your programs, but unfortunately, it does not work for all traditional Windows programs. It's not like on your Chromebook, when you go to the store, it will tell you that that particular program needs an update, and all you have to do is click on it and it updates. Doesn't work that way for all items in the Microsoft Store. But you can open the Microsoft Store and click on Library, and you'll view all the applications. Press the Update button. Okay, so let's do that. So in the Microsoft Store, we go to Library, which I thought would be over here. They may have
Go
changed
down.
it to.
Go down.
There it is right here. Yep, I got it. Right there. And it shows me all the apps. It doesn't tell me if anyone needs updating, but it does tell me the last time I modified them. But you can see all the programs that I have loaded on here. Some of them are
If you scroll
I was
up to
gonna say,
the top, yeah.
mine, I
Back to
had
the
one
top.
that was ready for an update listed.
Say that again. The two of you were talking. Get updates, are you saying?
Yes.
Click that. I don't want it to start doing
Then
updates.
they should pop to the top of the list if there are any. You may be up to date.
And if
You're
not, it
also
may start
inside
to
a
update.
Zoom.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Okay, phone link is when it needs to be updated, and it's doing it automatically. That's what I was afraid of. I don't think that'll matter though. Okay, taskbar, set up the taskbar. Let's see, anything here? System tray items, hide or show icons for pen input. Somebody said they had using the touchpad keypad, they could turn it on even though they didn't have a touch screen. And when they did that, they could also, just by using their mouse, could click on the different keys. So if your keyboard doesn't work, that's something that, all of a sudden it stops working. One of the things you can do is get the hidden keyboard and use the screen keyboard and show hidden icons. Common source of confusion is some icons in the taskbar are hidden. However, it's easy to show them yourself. Click the up arrow and the to temporarily show the icons, and that's the up arrow right here, and the other icons are right here. To add programs, the taskbar contains shortcuts, frequently used programs, and you can decide which ones. If it's full across the whole bottom, it's not much different than having them on your desktop, unless your desktop's full, and because you got to find them. Notifications. Those pesky notifications that pop up, both Windows and individual programs can send notifications, messages to you. All these are collected in the same place. Press the bell icon at the bottom right, which is down here, right here. When you do that, you'll get notifications if there are any, plus you'll see the calendar. Click on a notification to open it and press the cross on the right to delete it. You can also select clear all at the top right. And to control them, you can control what kind of notifications you receive. If you get too many, you want to turn some of them off. And so you can go to Settings menu, System, and Notifications. And with the slider to the right of notifications, you can switch notifications on or off, and you can then click the down arrow to control how. For example, choose whether notifications should have sound or not, and then go to notifications from apps. So it's Settings menu, System, and Notification. So we go to Settings, System, and Notifications. Wasn't that it? Yeah. Right here. Only passed it 3 times. And so notifications from apps, I've got it turned on for the Microsoft Store. I've got it, let's see, notifications I've got turned off. And I've got some, there's a do not disturb. So there's some things you can turn them on and off. And then start up app notifications. You can actually turn that on. I've got everything turned off, so I can't show you which ones I have notifications for because I don't have any. But you can decide which programs you want to have the notifications show. I got to the point where there's just so many of them, I just shut them all off, which you can do just by clicking that one setting. Okay, we're getting close to time. Let's see what we got for the next item. Microsoft is adding AI-powered summaries to Bing search results. Let's take a look at that. The race to bring more AI features to search is escalating, with Microsoft moving forward with additional tools for Bing. Today, the company began previews for Bing generative search, where the top result for a user's query will be an original response compiled by AI. The blog.post about Bing generative search showed a few sample results. In addition to the overview statement, Microsoft will provide links to the main sources of that large language models and small language models used to create their answer. So you're going to get some AI summaries of your searches, which looks interesting. And close that. And Microsoft Photos introduces even more AI. Now, this is Microsoft Photos, not Microsoft Paint. And I played with this. Integrates AI editing with the designer. So what I did is I opened up, let's see, I can just do it from here. Photos. And it's the Photos app, which is the Microsoft Photos. Let's go ahead and open it. And let's see. Let's find something here. It's not the one I had on earlier. There we go. This is the one I had earlier. There we go. So at least I know that this will work. So I open it. And then I want to edit it. And markup tab. Let's see. I got to remember how to do it now, what I did. Make it bigger, first of all. We'll screen it. Erase and markup. So let's try erase. Remove distractions. Brush over the entire area you want removed from your photo. So let's say I want this removed. And it's gone. Let's say I want all of these items removed here. I want this area cleaned up quite a bit. So we'll take that. We just let go of it. Now, it worked for me earlier. It's still working. I think, no. Well, it's pretty much getting rid of it. It worked a lot easier earlier, and I'm not sure what makes the difference, but you make the brush size different sizes. So you can remove an item. Let's say we wanted to get rid of this guy here. And it's gone. So you can do this now within Microsoft Photos. And this article will tell you how to do it and what to do and so on. So we're going to leave it at that. We got a few that we didn't get to, but let me stop the share. Any final comments, questions? Bob?
Do you not have a feature in Paint? Let me open it back up. Called Image Creator? Because that's
Yes.
part of the AI that was added, where you can simply describe the item and it will then go ahead and create an image for you.
Okay, so that's another thing that you can do. Absolutely. The image creator from Microsoft is very good to use and
Right.
and play with.
And that is in Paint itself.
Or just image without paint as well. Okay, any other comments, questions? Stephen Hall.
Yeah, maybe a little off topic, but we were talking about security. I wonder if anybody was affected by that horrible situation worldwide on CrowdStrike. And there's lawsuits that are going to be going back and forth on that one. It looks like it may affect some of the computers. Anybody know anything about that? I think it affected mainly servers, but I mean airlines, companies, hospitals, everything was affected by that CrowdStrike, which was a security botch update.
Yeah, Bob has talked about it ad litem here.
Okay.
And yeah, it's mostly the airlines were the biggest ones affected the most people.
Yeah.
But as far as the suits and so on, I don't think any of us will directly. We might be affected by them, but we won't be the ones causing them. We mute that person, and Jolyn, go ahead.
Yeah, I just was wondering, has anybody tried the Microsoft Designer, which seems to be harkening back to, I don't even, well, it was
It's an
like
excellent
PowerPoint.
program.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it?
image-
Okay, terrific. I think I will
Excellent.
Image Designer,
explore
Yep.
Microsoft Designer because I have Clipchamp and I'm enjoying getting that, and the photos has really improved. So I just was curious. I just installed it and will play with it. Thank you.
Paint as well. So yeah, the Microsoft products have really come a long way,
I agree.
as well as their antivirus. Okay.
I just one more thing. I've used Malwarebytes and Windows Defender, Microsoft Security, whatever it's been called. I've used those two products since 2007. I've been hit. Nothing has ever gotten through, ever.
Knock on wood, please.
And
Okay.
that's all I got to say. So thank you, guys.
So that's the Central Florida Computer Society and Sarasota Technology User Group, or WinSIG, for Sunday, August 11th, 2024. We're glad you were here. I hope you learned something. I know I have, and it's been interesting and a lot of fun. And stay tuned for the Central Florida Computer Society main meeting right here. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to sign out or anything. And at this point, I will say thank you